Hi, I'm Aiman, and welcome back to one of my auto repair videos. In today's video, we're going to be doing a little diagnostic video about hearing and feeling a clacking noise whenever you drive over a bump or the curb. So this is mainly going to be a diagnostic video. It's not going to be a how to replace anything, although if you are one of those more handy type people, we probably do have videos on how to replace different components. But first off, to explain the problem, whenever we drive the car, this is my brother Asfa's Honda Insight. Whenever we drive it over a curb or a bump, for example, whenever we pull out of the driveway, whenever we go past the curb, we hear a little clacking noise, and we also feel it when we're in the driver's seat. So my dad was doing some repairs to Asfa's car to figure out what exactly the problem was, and we noticed that on the driver's side front tire, that you can actually feel that the tire is loose when you push it back and forth from the outside. Like this. And, okay, your first reaction might be, oh, maybe that's normal. But if we go to the passenger side, I try the same thing. There's absolutely no leniency or shaking at all on that. So it's supposed to be rigid. So the fact that this can move back and forth tells you that there's probably a problem here. And that could be an issue of the suspension, the lower control arm, a ball joint. So what exactly is the problem? Well, if we look under the car, let's try to see if there's anything that might be an issue. Mainly we're looking for anything that's loose, or if it's something rubber, there might be a crack in it. And if we look closely, right here, you can actually see a crack in this rubber gasket here. Sorry, let me correct myself. I meant rubber boot here, this rubber boot. You can see the crack on there. So I'm gonna shake it, and maybe you'll see it pop up when I do so. Okay. So that's an indication that something is probably wrong around this area. And this area is in fact connected to the outer tie rod. So for a bit of terminology, the part from this nut all the way to the inside is called the inner tie rod. This S-shaped part is called the outer tie rod, and then down here is the knuckle. So whenever you experience an issue with a clacking noise, almost 100% it is the outer tie rod. So whenever you have whenever you're able to move the tire back and forth like this, then the problem is 100% the tie rod. Because the tie rod's connected to the steering, is part of the steering mechanism, which allows the tire to turn left and right. And that's the only part in here that could cause that left and right movement. Because the rest of it, the lower control arm, is only up and down movement. So in our case, just to demonstrate, we have this new outer tie rod that we're going to replace the old one with. And this is actually supposed to be super rigid, and I'm going to take it out and demonstrate later. Okay. Okay. So if I try to move it at all, it barely moves. Oh, there we go. Very rigid. But anyway, a new tie rod is supposed to be, as you saw, very, very rigid and very hard to move. In the case of the old one, with that crack in it, it allowed contaminants like dirt to get into it and caused it to lose a lot of its ability to stay rigid. Which is why we're replacing it with this new tie rod. So we're going to replace the tie rod, and if you decide to replace the tie rod, just make sure that it's actually very simple. All you have to do is unscrew the nut, take out the old tie rod, and then put the new one back in and screw it in. But when you do that, make sure that you count the number of rotations that you need in order to unscrew it, because that's the same number of rotations that you're going to need to do when you screw the new one back in. To make sure that the same amount of distance is there. And that matters for the alignment of the tire. Now, of course, you can take it to a shop after to do the alignment of the tires, very cheap. But at least making sure that you screw it in the same amount of turns ensures that when the shop does the alignment, it gets it as close as to what it was before. And you can't do a manual alignment. We've done a video on how to do a manual alignment before. It's a bit time consuming. Maybe it took us over an hour. But we did it for fun. And if you want to try it yourself, you can go check out that video. I mean, a tire alignment is relatively cheap, around $100, so you can also choose to go for that option too, if you want. But that's it for this video. I hope this helped you guys with trying to figure out what that clacking noise is in your tires, or whatever sound you hear and feel whenever you go over a bump or the curb. If it did help you, let us know in the comments down below. And if you have another reason why it might have happened, feel free to let us know. Although we think 100% the cause is the tie rod, because of the fact that we're able to adjust the tire. But that's going to be it for this video. I'm Aiman. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and look at videos on EyeOnAiman, especially the auto repair videos, and I'll see you in the next one. I'm Aiman, and signing out.